San Antonio, Texas, a city that hums with warmth, ambition, and the kind of summer heat that makes even the air feel restless. In a sleek downtown office building on the River Walk, two young women had built something rare and precious, a genuine friendship in a world that too often rewards competition over connection. Camila Reyes had worked at Hargrove and Associates for 3 years. She was the kind of person who arrived early, stayed late, and still found time to ask her co-workers how their weekends had gone. Her desk was covered in sticky notes, color-coded, organized, full of ideas that she poured into her work every single day. Rachel Flores had joined the company just a few months after Camila, and from their very first lunch together, tacos at a little place around the corner, they had clicked instantly. They shared the same jokes, the same frustrations, and the same big dream, to one day lead their own marketing team. For years, they were inseparable at work. They proofread each other's presentations, celebrated every small win with coffee and churros from the cart downstairs, and vented to each other about difficult clients and impossible deadlines. Camila trusted Rachel the way you only trust someone you've watched show up for you, again and again. Then, one crisp Tuesday morning in October, the news spread through the office like wildfire. The company was creating a brand new senior marketing director position. It was the kind of role both women had dreamed about, a seat at the table, a real chance to lead. Everyone knew immediately that the two most likely candidates were Camila and Rachel. Camila felt a flutter of excitement mixed with nerves. She sat at her desk that evening after everyone had gone home, carefully putting together her portfolio, 3 years of campaigns, metrics, and results that she was genuinely proud of. She told herself that whatever happened, she would compete with grace and be happy for Rachel if Rachel won. What Camila didn't know was that across town, Rachel was having a very different kind of evening. She was on the phone with their manager, Mr. Hargrove, casually mentioning that Camila had seemed distracted lately and that the Delgado account, one of Camila's biggest wins, had actually been mostly Rachel's idea. Neither of those things was true. The days that followed felt strange to Camila, though she couldn't quite name why. Mr. Hargrove seemed slightly cooler toward her in their one-on-one meetings. A colleague named Marcus gave her a strange, sympathetic look in the hallway one afternoon. Small things. Easy to dismiss. But they nagged at the edges of her mind like a song she couldn't place. Then came the afternoon that cracked everything open. Camila had forgotten her lunch bag in the break room and went back to retrieve it. Through the slightly open door, she heard two colleagues, Marcus and Priya, talking in low, uncomfortable voices. They didn't know she was there. And what she heard made her stop breathing. "I just feel bad for Camila," Priya was saying. Rachel told Mr. Hargrove that Camila has been taking credit for Rachel's work for months. That she's been coasting. Marcus sighed. "I know. And the worst part is, she has no idea any of this is being said about her. Rachel's been working the room for weeks." Camila stood in the hallway, completely still, her lunch bag hanging from her hand. She walked slowly back to her desk and sat down. Her screen blurred in front of her. 3 years of friendship. 3 years of shared secrets and celebrated wins and late-night venting sessions. 3 years of trusting someone completely, and Rachel had been quietly, deliberately dismantling her reputation, brick by brick, all to clear a path for herself. Camila spent the rest of the day in a fog of grief that slowly, quietly, hardened into something else, clarity. She thought about what to do. She could say nothing. She could confront Rachel privately. She could go to HR. But somewhere deep inside her, a voice said that what had been done in the dark, in front of others, deserved to be answered in the light, in front of others. The next morning, the entire marketing team gathered in the main conference room for their weekly Thursday meeting. Mr. Hargrove sat at the head of the table. Rachel arrived with her usual bright smile, setting her coffee down and opening her laptop. Camila walked in last, closed the door behind her, and took her seat directly across from Rachel. The meeting began normally, updates, timelines, numbers. But when Mr. Hargrove paused to open the floor for general discussion, Camila raised her hand. Her voice, when she spoke, was calm. Not cruel. Not shaking. Just clear and steady and undeniable. "Mr. Hargrove," she said, "I'd like to address something that's been affecting this team. And I think it needs to be said here, together. Every head turned. Rachel's smile faltered for just a fraction of a second. Camila looked directly at her best friend, her former best friend, and spoke carefully and truthfully. She recounted what she had heard. She presented the record of her own work on the Delgado account, pulling up documents she had prepared the night before. She did not yell. She did not cry. She simply told the truth, item by item, with evidence. The room was absolutely silent. Rachel's face had gone pale. Mr. Hargrove leafed through the documents Camila had printed and slid across the table. Marcus and Priya exchanged a glance. When Camila finished, she looked at Rachel one last time and said, quietly, "I'm not doing this to destroy you, Rachel. I'm doing this because what you built on my name wasn't yours to take." Rachel opened her mouth, closed it, and then, to the surprise of everyone in that room, she looked down at the table and nodded slowly. "You're right," she said, barely above a whisper. "I was scared I wasn't enough on my own. And I took that fear out on you. I'm sorry, Camila." It wasn't a dramatic breakdown. It was something quieter and more real than that, a person seeing themselves clearly, perhaps for the first time in a long time. Camila did not rush to forgive her. Forgiveness, she understood, was something that would need to be earned slowly and in private, not performed in a conference room. But as she drove home through the warm San Antonio evening, past the river and the lights and the hum of the city she loved, she felt something lift. She had not fought for revenge. She had simply stood in her own truth, and that, she realized, had always been enough.